Hi, I'm Lydia and this is my travel channel, and I have been documenting my travel here for just over a year now. However, I've been travelling for quite some time. On this channel, we have set the goal of travelling to all 44 countries in Europe, and maybe even eventually expanding that to 100 countries and eventually even having a go at van life. However, a few things have cropped up over the past year that have put a little bit of a spanner in the works. So I'm going to talk about this in this video, whilst also telling you all what the 24th country will be that I am travelling to in the next video. And whilst this is my travel channel, I also sometimes travel with my partner Johnny, and sometimes I go off on my own as a solo female traveller. Let's tell you where I'm going to next. I'm travelling to my 24th country. And I say I, but I am going with my partner. Zala is not getting to come with us yet, which I will update you on at the end of this video. But I thought some of you might want to know, given our last travel series was in Malta and everything to do with Malta, I realised that some of you might want to know where our next travel series is. Well, it is not in just one location. It's in a few locations. So first of all, we are going to be flying to Venice, but that is not my 24th country, as I have actually been to Italy quite a few times before. In fact, I've been to Rome this will be my 4th time. I've been to Naples 4 times, I've been to Capri, but I have not been to Venice before, so that will be new. However, it's not my first time in Italy, so I can't count that as a new country. And also, whilst I'm giving you all this update on what the next travel series is, for you to know what to expect here, when I do this sort of saying or announcing my travel goals and things, it's all in a little bit of fun. I think the joy of travelling is just to travel, and people shouldn't make it just about how many sort of countries they can collect, but it is about the experiences and enjoying it. And I think that's just the beautiful thing about travel. But where is the new country going to be for myself? So a while back, I mentioned that I had this kind of goal or dream of visiting all 44 countries in Europe, and I might even expand on that to say that I obviously want to go places further than Europe eventually, but I would particularly like to see all 44 countries in Europe. I think it'd be quite cool to visit some of the lesser known countries that people don't really think about when they think about Europe, and that is something that we're definitely going to do. And I said a while back that we would like to do that in van life, so we could take Zala, our little puppy that we rescued. But for now, it is proving quite difficult. Zala's not completely fully trained. She's still a little bit timid. We can't find a van. So we are still going to be doing that, but it's getting postponed for a little while. So in the meantime, we still definitely want to continue travelling. My mum is fine babysitting Zala for us while we go away. So we are going to the Adriatic. We're going to sort of go all the way down the Adriatic coast after we've been to Venice. So the plan for the adventure travel trip is to fly to Venice, then get the train from Venice to Trieste, and then we are embarking on an affordable luxury cruise down the Adriatic coast, calling at places like Zadar, Dubrovnik, and going to some few other places en route, and then ending in Rome and spending some time in Rome. Like I said, I have been to Rome before, but my partner hasn't, Johnny hasn't, so it'll be nice to sort of experience Rome again through his eyes. I think that's the next best thing with travel. Going with somebody else, you kind of get to experience it again for the first time through them. But we have got so many ideas for so many videos coming up, because I think the one good thing about going on a last minute cruise is, although you are getting to travel quite luxuriously, when it is the last minute that you have booked it, you do get a bargain, because obviously all your food and things are included, and it actually ends up working out sometimes cheaper than it would be to go and stay in hotels and even Airbnbs if you had to add that to your food. So obviously that will be the subject aspect of one of the videos, how we've done it, for anybody that's interested in that, and all the places that we go along the way. We've got a bit of adventure stuff planned, such as hiking Mount Vesuvius. There's going to be a real mixture of videos to come, some adventure based, some luxury based. We're going to go to the waterfalls in Croatia, as perhaps this thumbnail prompted. Some of you may have recognised it. And for those of you that were wondering a little bit more about this channel, obviously I have mainly made this a travel channel now, and it's taking some time to sort of get on track with that. But now we definitely intend to have weekly uploads every Thursday. Sometimes there might even be a few extra videos, but that's why we're constantly trying to travel, even in the meantime that we eventually get a van and look for a van. That's going to be something we do for a while so we can take Zala. But until then, we're still going to be traveling. So I hope you all enjoy all the travel videos that we've got so far. But this next one is going to really have a variety, because obviously our last trip was in Malta and we did lots of things based in Malta. We're going to be doing Italy, we're going to be doing Croatia, we're going to be doing somewhere else en route. Then there's even going to be on board the ship. There's going to be quite a lot to look forward to, I think. For later in the year, a rough plan of what might even come next or after this next travel adventure is there may even be a bit of an adventure trip that I mentioned a while back, which was that we travel over to France with my mum via ferry, or even to Greece via ferry with the dogs, because my mum has land in Greece and a house in France, and we're kind of wanting to finally try and do something with that. So there may very well at some point, quite a bit in the future, be some stuff to do with buying a property abroad, doing the property up abroad, how much it costs, all the costs involved in that, everything to do with sort of travel or living abroad, and especially travel with dogs sometimes. There's going to be a real variety of what's to come in the future of this channel. I know that a lot of you, I haven't really done any update videos for a while. I just briefly sort of told you before the last travel adventure that we were going to Malta and that we'd rescued Zala. So that had changed a few things. And some of you asked that don't sort of know the history of how we rescued Zala. You asked for an update on how it came that we rescued her. So briefly, we didn't actually intend to rescue Zala in terms of going to a rescue centre. We physically found her, or my mum did, wandering the streets in a snowstorm back in November. And despite advertising for months that we had found a puppy, nobody came forward and she had no microchip. And we just, in that time, fell in love with her and decided to keep her ourselves. And you could say it's put a real spanner in the works for long-term travel and travelling away, but we just loved her so much that we decided that we can still have a puppy and travel, and we're going to obviously be taking turns with my mum to dog sit her dog while she dog sits our dog, so that we can all still travel and then eventually, go in van life, so that we can be constantly travelling. That's the long-term goal, but there's definitely not going to be a lack of travel content just because we've got dogs. It's just made it a little bit more complicated. But we have a lot on the cards for this year. And I think that even after we hopefully, achieve our goal of visiting all 44 countries in Europe, the long-term goal maybe or long-term dream, I don't like saying goal, the long-term dream is perhaps to even make that an expansion, and maybe even have like a 100 country dream or goal to visit as many countries as possible, see as much of the world as possible. And some of that will definitely be done via van life. We have lots of different ways that we would like to travel, whether it be plane, cruise, train or van. There's lots of means of which we can try and achieve our goal, and I hope that you lot will come along for the ride. And even if you've been here from the beginning, when my channel started off as a bit of a vlog channel, I don't really see that it's that much different, so I hope that you'll give it a chance. It's just a travel vlog, so you're just getting to see my life while I'm travelling rather than at home. It's still me. We're just getting up to other stuff while we're travelling. And for those of you who haven't watched any of my videos in the past, there is a real variety. Some history type cultural videos, then we've got some fun vlog style videos, we've got sort of ship tours, we've got luxury hotel tours, we've got worst rated Airbnb tours. there is a real variety of how we travel. Because at the end of the day, we do budget, and we budget sometimes by going on cheap holidays and sometimes by going on more expensive holidays. And then it all kind of averages out for our overall travel experience and travel budget. That is an update of what's to come. So the next video you will see next Thursday will be our travel expedition, and it's quite a lengthy travel expedition, this next one. There are lots of videos planned that I have in mind. There may be another airport capsule hotel type video for those of you that like that one, because I do have a thing for enjoying staying in small little places, and they are very affordable as well. That's another good reason. So I will see you all next Thursday. Bye.